Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at some of these coins. We'll look at the top three, just a bit of a quick rundown as to what I think is likely to take place over this, and then I'll leave my live stream on with my chart, essentially just playing some banging tunes. Well, yeah, open to interpretation, obviously. Right, so this is Bitcoin on the 4 hourly. So last night, I was expecting this to, I suppose, not break out, but there was a chance that this zone was going to break, and then we're going to move to our all-time high, essentially. Still kind of in that same kind of mindset that we are looking for that to take place. At the moment, this looks pretty much like a bullish reaccumulation zone at the moment. It doesn't really look like any more than that. There's a bit of redistribution, a bit of reaccumulation. They're both basically the same kind of deal. You've got bulls and bears, basically just trading spots, really. So in my opinion, I think we're still looking to get back into this blue zone again. Once this blue zone is closed within again, we closed in there yesterday on a 4 hourly. I think now what we really want to see is a closure on a daily. We've not seen that since here. This blue zone is extremely strong resistance, as you can see. We're struggling to get back in within it, and even when we did get into it, we obviously broke down from it, but it's extremely strong. Now once this area is taken out, it basically is blue sky breakout, and that could be pretty significant. I'm pretty sure that there'll be a lot of people just long in it and seeing how far it goes, and it could go quite high. We could be talking multiple $1,000s. But until that breaks and until we see something like that, at the moment we have to respect the fact that this is still resistance, and we're still struggling to get into it and chip away at it, even though I have to say it's getting stronger and stronger every time I look at this chart. Now if we go to the 4 hourly, we are looking as though we're kind of crossing over to the downside, so we might, before we even break and go full moon on this one, there might be another opportunity to buy some lows. Now those lows, in my opinion, are going to be down at this blue box, which is $19,000 flat, or maybe even just 19,130, which is the 4 hour center of the Bollinger Band. This zone here, even though it not be much, is enough for people to go long on significantly and allow it, give it that momentum to move up. A lot of people are now super bullish on this one, which you could interpret in many ways, that they're going to get wrecked, because if everybody's on the wrong side of the trade, the liquidity for the bears is going to be unbelievable. It's going to be so tasty to liquidate all of those assets, and it won't take much, because if so many people are going long in these areas, all you need to do is break down a little bit further, down to 18,600 and so on and so on. It will have a domino cascading effect. So me personally, I'm not really looking to go long, nor am I looking to go short in these areas. I did do a long yesterday, and it was closed at the top of this blue box, the obvious place, I suppose. And I did that in my sleep, so I opened it and I woke up and it had closed, and that was fine. It was just as well, because it did come crashing back down. Now I'm not looking to take on any trades at the moment. That one specifically was done because the 1 hour was beginning to look like this, and I thought that this was a potential. And like I say, it was a decent move to take on the hourly. As you can see, we started a gradual slow uptrend, and these are the longs that you can do. I suppose you can go on the high leverage with, because it's not volatile, but there is a clear momentum to be moving up, which is what happened. So a few $100s up, a 20x, it's not too bad. So that is Bitcoin, and again, Bitcoin is the leader of the pack, and it's going to dictate the trend. Perhaps maybe not XRP's trend. But before we look at that, just a brief on Ethereum. Ethereum is basically doing exactly the same as Bitcoin. Exactly the same as Bitcoin. It is bullish in its posturing above all major moving averages on the daily. On the 4 hourly, it's basically going to be looking exactly the same. So in a delicate situation with the MACD, but other than that, it's not. You can't say that this is bullish or bearish divergence or anything like that. But it is a delicate situation at the moment. Presently, if it could come down, and if it did start to break down beneath around about 580, we could be looking down to about 560. But at the moment, at the moment it is definitely holding above all major moving averages. So therefore, could potentially be bullish back up to these highs. The all-time highs not the all-time highs, but this year's highs for Ethereum. Kind of a different story for XRP, but that said, this is the daily chart. This is a clear consolidation from this top. We are at the resting down at the center, at the bottom of this Bollinger Band. A further drop down to 45.50 would be an area where I would certainly look at taking on a long. Now, because this has been highly volatile, you don't need much leverage to do these sort of things. Now, I am not advising anybody do these trades that I'm talking about. I'm mainly talking about me. So where I would be looking to take along, if I were to be so lucky, would be to see a retest of this green 50 exponential moving average. This would be the obvious place to catch a decent bounce, and that is 45.30 or 45.50, and I would expect to see a decent buyback at that one, maybe even up to, well, I'll probably say maybe to around about 50 cents. Other than that, this chart does not look very happy indeed. It looks pretty miserable. And the weekly, what's this down here? 42, and that is 45.50. Yeah, so that would make sense. That if we did drop down, it would be 45.50 around that area, and that's where a decent long would be taking place. And if it broke down from beneath there, we're talking about 42.50 or so. But the weekly, you know, still technically bullish, and the daily not so much. Consolidating. The 3-day, let's have a look at that one. 3-day, what's down here? 40. So the 3-day doesn't look good at all, actually. So we just got to hope in all hell that the Bitcoin does hold its horses and stay at least at this level, or if it does break down, it's not going to be multiple $1,000s down, because if it were to be, the XRP would easily take down and down to this 40-cent zone easily, and probably into the 30s. So yeah, I mean, a lot of XRP's future is riding on the back of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin really cannot afford to break down if XRP needs to hold, because things are looking very dicey for XRP at the moment. But we knew that, this is, on my channel, we've made some epic trades on XRP way before it was a popular thing to do, and now it's all the rage, and now people are going, oh, look at the state of it. Well, this is what we expected. We expected this from the beginning until the end, so we got in around here, we got out generally around these areas, and now I'm not looking to get back in until it settles down again, which is what it wants to do. It's consolidating, it needs to settle down, and until it settles down, it's not really an appropriate place to buy into it. You can go long, you can go short if that's your plan, but to buy back on this stuff now, no. It needs to reaccumulate, just as all coins need to reaccumulate at appropriate levels, and we will know that with XRP, because when it does reaccumulate, it's very, very obvious. This is a big move. This is almost 100%, and then a nice reaccumulation pattern. Big move. We're going to find a reaccumulation pattern somewhere, and it will be obvious, and we can get back involved then. Until then, we'll leave it alone, and I hope you have a nice day, and take it easy.